I spent a lot of money on business cards because people said I should get them. So here's mine. Bought a case too. That pretty much ran me dry. There's nothing written on it, but it was still expensive. So I tell him my information verbally. If you would have told me 5 years ago that I'd become an established actor, I would have said to get the hell out of my studio apartment and watch out for that bottom step because it's a little loose.
I've taken it upon myself to be one of Linus's soldiers. You know, I have an influence, I have a readership, and he has greatness, so I take that and I communicate it as much as I possibly can.
When after he got his, big break, he was getting all this fan mail, and he couldn't handle it all. So I basically took over being president, and he would get like 3,000 letters a day, and he never got emails. It would just be, mail, like real paper mail.
It was incredible to see that someone had that kind of talent, that people still exist in this day and age with that kind of talent. I thought those actors had died, with the great Burt Lancasters and, Robert Redford isn't dead, but he's great and not really doing much anymore. There is no other Linus, and we all know that.
Linus. His name's Linus. I mean, I know he likes Linus because it sounds more artistic, but his name's definitely Linus.
I hear his name. I hear it calling out to me in the mornings before I brush my teeth. It just has that ring to it. After my workout, again, it calls out to me.
I think that he could do anything and be anyone.
A sunset is a sun that sets. And a hot dog is a dog that's hot.
You didn't recognize me, did you?
The kind of talent he has, you're just born with it. I mean, that's not something you can learn.
I'd spend hours practicing and rehearsing methods, things I invented, like the Linuslavsky method, which is taking words and dividing them up.
Think of all the people that people worship nowadays, Nelson Mandela, John Lennon. They're all dead. They don't see them. They don't hear about them live, but their resonance, they resonate throughout people's worlds.
I'm ashamed to say that I don't think that I could grasp the performance the same way that he grasps it so incredibly, so naturally.
Now, if you take the phrase, "stop it now, jerk," I would have said, "stop it now, jerk."
Linus brought back the faith that the great actor still exists.
And if you say real fast, it's "stop it, jerk." The night of the incident was a life-changing experience and a knee-shattering experience, literally, because I was carrying one end of a couch. Sometimes I call it sofa. And
he tripped over this piece of wood.
He broke his leg, and it was beautiful.
It looked like it was part of the show. I mean, it was just, ah!
I've seen many people break their legs, and it's just like, ugh, like you just think that it hurts. But when Linus broke his leg, you just couldn't help but to stare in awe.
In awe of what he became and how he handled that situation.
Other than my patella never properly healing again after it cracked, the audience was laughing. Laughter came from the audience. They were laughing. They loved it. And I found that weird since the whole purpose of my job was not to be seen.
He had a passion for Jell-O shots. He loved the red and blue ones in particular. I'm not sure why, but perhaps the blue was made with blue curacao, so had that orange flavor, and the red was strawberry, and who doesn't like strawberries?
I don't think that there's anyone at parties that takes the Jell-O shot and then cleans up what's remaining inside that little Dixie cup.
I just love those little cups.
I suggested, it's like, you ever thought of adding whipped cream?
When he did drink, he was more erratic, and he was not as natural.
It helped him in many ways. I mean, obviously it made him more dramatic. It made him a better actor. It made him a better feeler of emotions.
It was sad, but I guess we all have our vices.
I loved his work that much more.
I just couldn't stop. Eventually, they asked me to leave the show.
He was too good for their show, so they asked him to leave. I mean, that's crazy.
I can't help it if the other actors sucked.
Him leaving the show was like...
In fact, I think every actor other than me sucks.
It's still too...
De Niro, he's great because he gained 60 pounds. If that's the case, my Uncle Frank should have 3 Oscars by now.
I actually blogged for all of the people to turn off their TVs for a week.
Meryl Streep? So what if she could do every accent in the book? I can do accents. French, oui, Spanish, si, Canadian, a.
And the thing was, he was still recovering from his leg being broken, so really the only job he could take was these furniture ads.
The way he limped around those Persian rugs. I mean, I have 20 of them in my apartment.
And I got to combine the 2 realms that I knew best, carpentry and acting.
I am certain that that furniture company made a killing off his ads.
They sold at least, I think, 10. I mean, 10 couches? That's a lot. I mean, people don't buy couches every day. It's not like buying milk.
And the only people who've ever done that is Harrison Ford and Jesus H. Christ, who's amazing. Back to the 1950s, all the films he worked in up till a few years ago with Mel Gibson. He always did it big. Not this big, not this big, this big.
I think that his options are limited only by his own demands on himself. I think that if he continues to pursue his career, that he can get anywhere he wants.
We love him. Me and my readership.
20,001 people.
I am sitting in front of you today as 20,000 people. Because I blog.
If you have a project where you need a presence, he's the guy you want. He's the guy. Him.
I'm hoping that one day that producer or director or boom operator or extra sound person, best boy, whatever, is going to get a script and be inspired to make a $100 million movie just so they can hire me.